Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, Daily Tactics here, and today we are back with another episode of the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Star Wars Galaxy at War mod. Today we find ourselves on Balmora, which is a planet where this just absolutely gigantic Republic military base is. It's just a mega base in all honesty. So we got clones lining these walls. We have forward operating bases up here and up here. Then past this sort of wall area, we have troopers inside the first military base. You heard me right, first. And they are all up in here with some massive turrets and things like that. Then going through here, we have like no man's land where there are some clones standing. So I guess no man's land is manned. Very interesting. And then back here we have our second military base, which is even more armored, with clone troopers dotting these walls and inside the military base itself. And then finally we have the platform up here where the clone commander is chilling. This clone commander is right here. That would be Commander Trauma, and the legion that we're going to be using is Trauma Legion, which are some pretty cool looking fly to death clone trooper skins. I dig these quite a bit. And the enemy is General Grievous, who is going to be coming forward with his battle droid slash commando droid army here, which is equipped with some of these AT-MT tanks, as well. Is it AT-MT? I can't remember. Basically, they're these smaller, let's see, wait. AMT tanks, sorry, not AT-MT, AMT. And then we've also got some of these dwarf spiders up in here too. Look, it looks like the dwarf spiders almost have like eyebrows. That's hilarious. And yeah, they're going to be coming forward and attacking the clone troopers. It should be a very interesting battle. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. So without further ado, I'll be right back and we'll get this started. Hey guys, what's going on? Just before this video begins, I wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to Instinct Gaming for sponsoring this video. They have just a huge collection of games for really low prices. It's phenomenal. I buy my games from here just to save some money for the rest of the channel, and it's fantastic. I think you should definitely go in the link in the description below, check it out. Even if you don't buy anything, just clicking that affiliation link helps my channel out a ton. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy the following video. Be sure to check out Instant Gaming. Peace. Alrighty then, battlers, I think we're ready to get this battle underway. Let's go ahead and press start, and the droid army begins its march forward, looking as dope as ever. Just this massive entity moving as one against defensive positions, and the fire begins to start here a little bit as these forward operating bases that the clones have sort of scattered throughout the map begin to fire a little bit. They back down slightly as they realize that they're outgunned, and they're waiting for their moment to strike when the droids are a little bit closer. Seems like the walls in the back begin to fire away too. We got a machine gunner here, a heavy MG, firing away as well. Incoming droid fire is suppressing them quite a bit, but the wall holds strong. They continue defending against this attack. Some of their clone brothers that are scattered throughout in more guerrilla positions across the map are going down. Looks like this forward operating base on the left is down. This one on the right is down to one trooper who is vigorously firing away at this oncoming droid tank. He knows it's useless, but he might as well try his best to help out his brothers. Now he's firing to the right as these, sorry, to the left as these droids begin to come at him. His position is going to be compromised very quickly here, and one droid tank goes down. It seems like this artillery piece back here might have been able to catch that just crushing blow on it. Very nice. Well done, good sir. The clone walls are falling pretty easily now. This dish turret up here going down, and the clone troopers dying as well. Very few remain left alive. This dish turret, it seems like it took some fire and must be inoperable. Oof. All goes quiet as the droids begin slowly creeping on forward here, and another burst of fire. Oh my god, if that dish turret wasn't dead before, it certainly is now. My goodness. Wow. Okay, so Droids creeping their way forward as they begin their attack on this first canyon. It does seem like these canyon walls were man-made, like the clones put these massive boulders in these positions so as to funnel the droids through one way, and I think that's a very smart move, a very well-planned bit of clone ingenuity there. Spider droids taking the front position. Probably a smart idea, you know, keep your heavier units to the front to take the brunt of the defensive force, and then follow in with the droids. Looks like some droids going to the right, going to sort of worm their way through this little position here, and some going to the left to do the same. There are small paths that way, and the dwarf spiders begin taking some fire. One goes down early on, the second one taking a heck of a lot of hits here. With the one behind going down, it looks like it was spraying at this gun, and it did take it out, so that's a massive loss for the droid army. But in turn, the the clones did manage to take out the majority of the droid heavy weapons. Only one dwarf spider remains and one tank over here, which seems to have gotten itself caught on some tank traps. It might be able to dislodge itself, though, and make a return to the battle. Looks like a few commando droids going up front here, taking on clone positions. Clones down in this bunker area firing up, and clones straight across firing. These are, of course, the very early droid troopers that are coming through. The main part of the army has yet to really break on through, so the main force has yet to come crushing down on the clones. But if these clones can continue to get these early kills, then it will benefit them in the late run. This is such a long defense that any kills at any point is gonna be beneficial for the clones. Even if they're not getting massive choke point deaths here, if they manage to kill, you know, 2 droids for every clone that there is as they go on through, every clone doing their part, then the clones will be better off towards the end when they have to do their sort of final stand, which may very well come to that. We're not totally sure. It might not happen. The clones might be able to destroy the droids before the droids get to their final defensives. But right now, this spider droid is pushing and paving the way forward, getting a lot of clone kills, and the droid army is coming in from behind and sweeping. This strategy is working very much so to the benefit of the droids. Ooh, but this droid is beginning to take some fire. Oh, and it goes down. It seems like this dish turret just absolutely sniped that. Wait, was it the dish turret? It was. It's got a tank kill. Very well done. That was good. But now here comes the droid infantry coming in to do cleanup for what these tanks bravely accomplished for them. And these droids are running through these bunkers, getting some kills here and there. Clones still standing in defense. That was their own grenade that dislodged them from their position and forced them to duck. But they're back in their position now, getting a few droid kills here. Oh, but one of them goes down. These droids are just gunning their way forward. They're trying to get up here, I think. One clone remains up here, and he has to duck down. This droid... What? Dude, kill him! What? What? Oh my god. I just don't know. How? How is this clone not dead? There we go. That commando droid finally corrected the mistake of his B1s, but he still gets grenaded in the end. Let's see. So this left bunker seems to have fully... Oh, no, not fully gone down. There's still a little bit of clone resistors along this corridor here, popping off some fire at these droids who are coming down their way. They're receiving a little bit of fire, but they're managing to stay alive, getting a couple of kills here and there, but they do eventually go down in the end. And it looks like that might be the end of this left bunker over here, but the right does still have some clones alive here and there. Yeah, they're scattered throughout, left alive, so that's good. If they can put up some more resistance here. It looks like some of the troopers within the bunker are firing upwards. Oh, and then there's this guy here too. Alright, so the clones' first base has yet to be fully destroyed. They've still got some fight left in them, and if they can get some kills and weaken the droid army for the second base, then this could be very beneficial for the overall war effort of the clones. Yeah, you guys have been asking for some bigger battles because, you know, I've been doing mainly medium-sized battles. Nothing too small, but, like, we haven't had a massive engagement in quite a while, so I think this... Oh, that poor clone didn't even notice the grenade. I think that this definitely constitutes a major assault, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. I'm going to try and sprinkle in more large-scale battles and small-scale battles throughout the weeks, instead of maybe doing like all medium and all small or all large, because sometimes I don't I don't do a great job of sort of diversifying the battle types that we do. So I'll definitely be a bit more cautious of that and try and get a nice mix in. So these droids coming up over the top of this bunker here and firing down onto the clones waiting below, getting a good number of kills, but they're also sort of exposing themselves to the clone fire with very little cover up here, so they did take losses themselves, and there's still clone resistance going on, but it looks like they wiped out the last of those guys. There's one clone left alive down here. There's a few clones, I believe, over here. Yeah, there's 1 or 2, 3 over here, and then there's about, looks like 4 left over this way, and 2 left on these rocks over here. So maybe a squad of clones. Oh, and there's a guy right there too. 2 guys. Okay, so yeah, about a squad of clones left alive in this right position here. Seems like the droids are going to try and take care of them before they begin their assault on no man's land. That's not really no man's land because there are troopers positioned there, and I think that's a smart plan. You know, take out the last remaining pieces of resistance over here before you commit to an assault somewhere else, and that'll just really solidify your flank and make sure you get on through. So they killed that clone there, and they just have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 troopers over here left to kill. Actually, I don't even know if they know they exist over there. Oh, I think there was a little bit of fire, and that made them realize a couple droids getting close to these guys over here, but they're not quite engaging. Okay. All right, so the droids might not understand that there are clones left alive over here. Maybe they thought the sweep was complete, but then it really wasn't. Oh, there seems to be fire. Oh, there's fire coming from no man's land, and a massive turret shot taking out 2 or 3 droids over there. Oh, and it's coming in hot right now. That dish turret doing a lot of work against these invading droid units. If the clones can manage to keep that thing alive for the long run, that could just be the absolute saving grace of the clone army, because there is still a heck of a lot of battle droids and commando droids left alive to wipe out these last remaining clone troopers. So having those massive artillery pieces, which really haven't done too much overall in this battle so far, but if they can really pull together now and get some serious kills, which it does seem like they are doing, then the clones could be in some pretty good shape here. Right now, the droids seem to just sort of be skirmishing from afar. They've got a good solid amount of cover over here, which means that the most of the clone troopers aren't really able to hit them quite yet, and I think the clone base is also at quite a distance right now, so it's not quite possible for the clones to hit them at this distance. A lot of clone troopers still alive also within the no man's land area, which I'm going to keep calling it that, even though it's really not a no man's land area. Ooh, that guy gets dome shot. Oof. Big old oof right there. Yeah, I like this kind of guerrilla warfare amongst the rocks. I think that's very cool. Meanwhile, the artillery of the droids is... Or, sorry, the artillery of the clones is just absolutely peppering these droids right now. Looks like Grievous is still alive, actually. Very nice, and he's got a DC-15A. Looks like he might be taking the reins of this battle right now, as he realizes his droids are not doing the job he needs. So he's gonna begin leading the assault. He's probably more prepared to lead an assault against just clone troopers than, you know, clones mixed with Jedi. Whenever there's, like, powerful Jedi involved, Grievous seems to shy away a little bit more. But when it's just against clones, I don't think he has much respect for them and their combat abilities, so he goes in a little bit more himself, personally. And he's getting some good shots off here with his stolen weapon, firing at some of these clone ramparts that are bursting fire at him and his army, perhaps connecting with a few of these clones. Looks like they're still holding steady, though. Any shots they take are glancing shots, you know. Their armor is protecting them from the wounds overall, which is very good. Tree's getting felled over here as that artillery just continues to pound these battle droids. Oh my goodness, they need to take care of that artillery. There is actually 2 artillery pieces. There's one over here to the right, and then one over here to the droid's left, and they're both just really hitting these clones hard, except this one keeps missing and hitting this gunship, which I suppose is... Sorry, it keeps hitting the droids hard. Sometimes I get the names confused, you guys know that. And this could be the end of the droid attack, as they're just getting wedged into this choke point here and pounded by clone artillery. This could have been the clones' plan all along, to really just dismantle the droid army. Very, very brutal. Did the oh, the droids still have this tank way back here, which seems to be going through the trenches right now? Buddy, do we want to dislodge this thing? And I think it'd be interesting to have a droid tank attacking in this final part of the battle. So why don't we... There you go. No, God, why are you such an idiot? Alright, you know what? Screw. There you go. Droid tank, you're free to join the battle now, because I think it would be very interesting to see that involved in this final bit of battle. Grievous still alive, still rolling out in the front as more and more ion shots hit this troopers hard. My goodness. Yeah, this could be it for the droid army, boyos. Oh, what is this? Clone from behind firing at him. That's why you always check your flanks, boyos, because all of a sudden an enemy may return from behind, and that seems to have been what happened right there. Where'd the droid tank go? Are you kidding me? You're over here right now. I swear to goodness. And it got itself stuck again. We're just putting you front and center, boyo. Just front and center. There. Jeez. I'm trying to do you guys a favor, but you're too dumb. See, there we go. Now it's attacking. See if this evens the odds a little bit. Because I'd love to see an infantry assault on this base. And perhaps if the droids do end up fully getting stopped here, then we could pick up with a second episode where they start over here with droid reinforcements or something like that. That could be interesting. But they do have this tank now, which may be able to do something. Though it is going to be hit pretty hard, and it does manage to take out that dish turret right away. Very nice. And some of these clones on the ramparts getting hit by it pretty hard. But the droid tank is also taking a lot of fire. It's only a matter of time before this bad Larry does end up getting busted up. Some of the droids taking advantage of this brief lapse in clone fire to come forward. It gets hit hard. It's on fire. Only a few more shots, and I think the clones will have this thing fully destroyed. But this droid tank is wasting no time in peppering the clone defenses with fire, utilizing its time that it's got left on this planet to even the odds a little bit for its droid infantry. Grievous's weapons coming in clutch for him right now, but the clones are persistent and they're continuing to round off some fire at the oncoming droid army, and this thing is resilient, man. It's still alive, god dang, but I don't think it's actually mobile anymore. I think it has been crippled pretty heavily, and it is smoking right now. So I think that if the clones focus their fire on this thing, then they'd be able to get the kill. But now the clones seem to be focusing a lot more on the droid infantry coming forward once more and choosing to fire at that instead. The clones do still have one last dish turret left alive. I don't think it has a shot on that tank. No, it doesn't. It actually has a very narrow range of fire. It seems to only be able to fire right in this little crook right here. And it's not managing to do so right now. The last remaining droids putting up a dire effort to sort of come forward against the clone base, but the clones holding them at this position. They're not really able to advance very far forward because the clones are managing to get so much fire out at them. There are still quite a lot of clones left alive in various positions, able to keep the droids at bay. So even though the droids did manage to break through a little bit and get this dish turret destroyed, it might not have been enough. Not to mention the clones still hold the entirety of this base, which is very well manned, as well as this base over here and this landing platform up here with Commander Trauma himself. So it's highly doubtful that this droid attack will be successful in the end, but Grievous is still up here. He's still got hopes that perhaps these clones will falter, perhaps his droids will get a foothold, and they'll manage to take away the gold here. But I don't know, it's becoming more and more doubtful in my mind that the droids will actually manage to accomplish their mission here as their tank continues to just pour fire into this dead gunship. Perhaps the targeting system inside the droid tank is down, and now it's malfunctioning and hitting that instead of actual clone targets. But we do see a couple commando droids actually taking the lead here. They are stronger, faster, and more accurate than your standard B1 battle droids, so they might be able to do a little bit more if they come forward, and then the B1 battle droids back them up from behind. But the clones not really having to deal with them close up and able to just sort of spam them from a distance. They're just taking out these commando droids pretty easily. It does seem like in the television show that the commando droids really only prosper in close ranges. That's the majority of the combat that we see the commando droids engaging in, and when they do get into these longer range attacks, they're way less effective. But they're still doing some work here. They seem to just become more part of the standard army when they're at longer ranges, but when they're closer up, they seem to be just much stronger, and the benefits of having them in your army actually improve than at longer range. Either way, the droids shockingly coming farther and farther forward and perhaps suppressing these clone lines a little bit, getting a few more kills here and there. This dish turret's still alive. It doesn't have a shot right now, but as soon as the droids do get into its wheelhouse, I think they're going to be in a world of pain. Meanwhile, in the meantime, the clone infantry is managing to continue to take them out. Looks like droids actually choosing to attack over here. Looks like a few of these clones did end up going down, and these troopers over here. There's still two over this way. And that might be it, actually. Oh, just one over this way. Seems like they got attacked by a commando droid. So in the back lines, a few droids did peel off to deal with that, realizing that it was in fact a threat. This tank is basically obsolete now, as it's killed all of the clones, I believe, that it is in range of and able to kill. So that thing is not really doing its job much anymore and is becoming more and more just a bucket of bolts. Meanwhile, there's still clones left alive in No Man's Land too, which is kind of surprising. I thought for sure all of these guys would be dead, but they're still kicking, which is really impressive. Meanwhile, clone ramparts are still very much in play. It's not just the base remaining, and it does seem more and more that this droid last attack is becoming more and more an act of desperation. As we're seeing majority blue blaster bolts instead of red blaster bolts, which is just sort of a sign of who's dominant on the battlefield at the moment. But the droids are playing this attack rather well and smartly. They're spreading out their units, they're making sure they're not too consolidated, and therefore they're having the peak advantage of moving in, you know, spreading out, making sure they're not too attackable. General Grievous still on the front lines. I'm surprised he is still alive, but he's still kicking, man. He's still cruising forward with his droids as they get pegged down one by one, and slowly their force begins to dwindle, and they become weaker with every death. Very, very tough. The clones played this defensive very well. And I do think we can solidly say that the clones are going to win this. Of course, we're going to let the battle finish up here. Did that last clone? This last clone's still alive! Oh my goodness. Also, a ton of droids died coming down this way to attack those few clone troopers. I'm kind of disappointed we missed this attack because a lot of droids died. Holy cow. Yeah, that would have been really cool to see. That's a shame. That is a shame. So yeah, I do think that this will end up being a clone victory. Just by my guess here, I'm not saying for sure. You never know. The droids could pull a complete Hail Mary here and just absolutely wipe these clones remaining. But at the moment, that's just my guess. So if you guys would like a part 2 to this, win or lose for the clones, because I mean, this map actually has a whole nother territory over here. Like a lot of... this is a very large map. There's a lot of aspects to it. So if you guys would like to see part 2 and part 3 of this, I'd be happy to do a trilogy. Even though we do actually have another trilogy going on right now, I think it's okay. You know, there's never too many trilogies. They all get compiled into a playlist on their own anyway later on, so it's not like it's a hindrance. Wow, that turret just hit this tree and then killed his own man in doing so. That's brutal right there. Droids huddled together a bit more right now, trying to consolidate their fire, I think, as they slowly get picked off by these clones once more. This is definitely getting into last stand territory for the droids. I think their only hope is to kill a few more of these defenders by the end of this battle. That's all they can hope. Got a bow rifle up here, doing some work. That thing's pretty powerful. That can definitely get some kills. For sure, for sure. Clones back here, getting involved a bit more too, behind their barricades here, rounding off some fire. It's clear that this clone defense was fully mobilized, as we're seeing pilots actually taking to the ground. Perhaps their airspace had been totally infiltrated by battle droids, or vulture droids, whatever. Or perhaps all of their aerial vehicles were grounded for some reason. You know, it's clear that for some reason the pilots are fighting in this battle, and that could be a factor of either desperation on the clone side for this ground battle, or it could be a sign of just sort of droid air superiority. Could go either way. Grievous is... How is Grievous still alive? He's not even getting shot at. It's like the clones just don't care. Like, I don't think we've seen Grievous get shot at, like, once during this. It's insane. You gotta... Oh, there we go. He's getting shot at now a little bit. He might be out of ammo, honestly. Because he picked up a weapon, but I don't think he picked up ammo for it, so he might just be totally out of ammo at the moment, and then, therefore, when the clones don't see him firing, they're choosing to fire at the more immediate threats, such as the commando droids and the battle droids, that are just sort of closing in on them and posing immediate danger. This dish turret's still not really firing. It might be damaged. No, it doesn't seem to be damaged. Maybe it just still doesn't really have an angle. Oh, this clone firing at Grievous a little bit, who's taking cover behind a tank trap and still pushing forward, my man. Oh, now he's getting shot at a little bit more. He's caught a bit more in the open, retreats a bit. He's got no ammo, so I don't know what his plan is. He's here to do something, clearly. What's he looking at? Oh, there's a clone left alive over here. He sees him, but he can't do anything because he has no ammo. Should we give Grievous a little bit of ammo? Just for fun. Let's give Grievous a little ammo. Get to the ammo. Go, Grievous, go. What are you doing? Search that body. Buddy. Search the body. Dude. There you go. Take that ammo. Alright, he's reloading. He's got ammo. But he's getting shot at. A lot. He's having trouble with this clone. There we go. He gets the kill. Grievous, you mad lad. But he gets grenaded. And he dies. Oh my goodness. That is the end of Grievous. Oh boy. Actually, if you look at the minimap right now, blue are clones that are left alive. Red are the droids that are left alive. The droids are down to this tiny little dot formation. And then, of course, there's this one clone over here who's got 2 kills. Not bad. And there's one droid over here, too. Oh, 3 droids. Okay. So, yeah, the clones definitely outnumber the droids at this point. So, I think this is for sure going to be a victory for the clones. It's still fun to watch the last of the droids sort of get wiped out here, though. So I think we're gonna let this play out. We're gonna definitely let this play out. Very nice, very nice. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of ARF troopers in Trauma Company, which is kind of cool. I really dig that helmet design of the clones. I think it's very cool. Honestly, I'm not sure what episodes Trauma was in. I can't quite remember. And now that the show is off Netflix, it's like, well, I can't really revisit it. I don't particularly want to pay for another streaming service that Disney's gonna set up. It's coming to the point where, like, streaming services a few years ago were in their heyday, where, like, they had almost every show, everything was on them, you know, everything was available. And it was awesome, because you only had to pay for one and you had access to, like, everything. But now every company wants to make their own streaming service. Like, NBC's coming out with one, I heard. Disney's coming out with one. You got Hulu, you have HBO, you have Netflix, you have Acorn, you've got Amazon Prime. There's so many, and each one has, like, one major show on it, making it worth getting, but the others don't have it. So it's like, it's just not worth it anymore. And I think this oversaturation of the market has completely ruined it. This is one of the few times I think a monopoly on TV, you know, streaming would have been good for consumers, because it would have made it so you only had to pay for one thing. Then again, the price, they could price gouge consumers, but so maybe like 2 people competing. Hulu and Netflix, like it used to be. That's like the golden age, but now it's kind of ruining it with all this competition. So the droid's actually managing to cop a few more kills here and move on with this this battle a little bit. Very good on them. I mean, I'm kind of impressed that they managed to do that. They've almost eliminated this middle ground defenses for the clones. There's still this dish turret that they're clearly worried about, as they're firing quite a bit into it. I wonder if this thing's out of ammo or something, because we haven't been seeing it fire too much. I suppose it doesn't really have an angle on these droids, so I'm not fully sure what it's doing. It's still got a few clones around it, sort of protecting it. This guy's sort of waiting in ambush for the droids to get closer. Meanwhile, the droids are just sort of pouring fire into it. from this little head glitch position over here, but they're not going to get the kill on the gunner, and their slight weapons aren't powerful enough to get the kill on the dish itself, I'm pretty sure, so they're not going to accomplish much until they actually kill that gunner there. So we'll see if that happens. Meanwhile, off to the right, I've been seeing a few shots coming from, like, this guy, and well, all these guys ended up dying, so you know, that resistance is going down for the clones. This guy over here getting some fire out onto these droids a little bit. Ooh, this thing might be firing a little bit more. There we go. It's getting back into the action. Very nice. Getting a few more droid kills. Getting its kill count up. Well done. It's coming back. Yeah. I wonder why it wasn't firing. Maybe it just didn't have the line of sight, and now the droids have revealed themselves a little bit more? Who knows? I'm making excuses for this thing when it just straight up wasn't firing. But now it is wiping these droids out, like really full on, just crushing this last little bit of resistance here. Hot dang, yeah, it just totally silenced the Separatist army. If we look at the battlefield one more time, we got maybe 10, 20 droids left alive in total from the red dots I'm seeing, and then a lot of clones. A whole lot of clones. So I think this droid attack is officially over. Well, let's see if they do pounce once more. They might go in for another strike. We'll see. We shall see. Yep, they're rotating a bit. They do seem interested in striking back. I mean, they're programmed to not, you know, they're probably didn't have the call to retreat, and therefore they're going to continue going on. That droid tries firing, and then it gets vaporized. Oh my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I heard footsteps. A couple of droids running around. Alright. Should we force these last, what, 10 droids into a charge here? Charge the dish turret, boys! Charge! Full-on charge. We're going bonsai, boyos. And clone fire coming on in. It looks like clone infantry taking some shots. This guy finally, having laid an ambush this entire battle, finally gets his moment to shine. Droids getting slaughtered, but they do end up taking out the dish turret and a few other clones too. The droids surprisingly surviving through this. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay, so that bonsai totally worked. The Japanese were onto something in World War II. Maybe the clones froze up in fear a little bit. Or it was just the pure surprise of this that led to so many of their deaths. But these droids still don't have enough forces to really win this battle. Given that there's probably about 40 to 50 clone troopers within that military base itself, things will not end well for these droids. Not to mention they've got all these outside defenses still left alive. And there's a ton of clones in here. It ain't gonna happen, Chief. It ain't gonna happen. Yeah, so we got light skirmishing going on as the last remaining droid resistors put up their desperate fight. And I doubt they get any more kills. Yeah, they're just so heavily suppressed. Anytime they pop up, they're taking fire. I think these clones off to the side have a really awkward angle. Yeah, they have to like thread the needle through the side of this dish turret, and it's really tough. So that's why this droid is still left alive. If this dish turret wasn't here, I think these droids would have died a little while ago. They seem to be firing for the most part at this one clone over here, who has the misfortune of being in a really tough position, and he's not firing over his defenses. All right, let's give these droids another charge here. Because this is clearly not going to go anywhere. So the droids sort of come out, then choose to separate amongst different defenses. That one gets domed after throwing a grenade back. This one over here with the bow rifle goes down. One last droid remaining. See, he pops up and then goes down. Alright, guys, so that'll just about do it for this video. There were a lot of clones remaining in the end there. And the droids absolutely lost it right here. So yellow are dead clones, and I mean the final base did take a lot of losses, and I think the majority of that was due to this tank here. So yeah, the clones lost a lot in this final area, but look at the droid deaths. Those red units dead on the ground. Insane numbers right over here. Not to mention in this second base there were a ton of droid deaths as well. and then rounding up towards this this first wall, tons of droid deaths too. So the clones really sort of whittled down droid forces all the way until this canyon right here, where they unleashed the rest of their firepower onto the droid enemies and crushed the remaining ones. So really a pretty epic battle. I think it was really fun. Grievous probably with his last, few remaining droids here. This one's trying to repair this tank, so perhaps... oh! One last droid came forward, I guess. And is taking fire and not really firing back. Oh, he is firing back. How many kills does this guy have? He's got 9 kills? Dang, son. Impressive, but he does die. He does, in fact, die. I don't think he got any kills in that last little bit there. So yeah, Grievous is probably going to slink away inside of his tank and make it back, seeing as that droid, I think, just repaired it. So Grievous is going to slink away to his part of the base on this world, Balmora? Batorma? I can't remember what it's called. And yeah, let me know if you guys want to see a part 2. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Comment and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.